Okay, guys, let's start off with some new primer from Shop Miss A, the AOA collection, and it's in Tea Tree primer with vitamin E. They have three new primers. I got to come back and do a haul, so I picked up all three of them. But I wanted to try this because I know tea tree is good for your skin as well as vitamin E. So I said, why not? It applied like a moisturizer, or I thought it was going to apply like maybe like a face moisturizer, but it does have that primer consistency to it. Yeah, it does have that gripping, that slight gripping, priming consistency to it. So, and I also used some of my Be Pure dollar store uh, blurring primer. You know, I've been obsessed with that lately. I just can't get away from it. It minimizes the pores. It's $1.25. And why not? Why not? If I can only spend $1.25 on a primer versus spending $40 on a primer, which one do you think I'm going to choose? So the combination of those two did the trick for me. I like to double prime. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And yes, I like to double prime, sometimes triple prime. So yeah, I'm just rubbing that in. The foundation we went with today is the House Labs in the shade 440 that I picked up from Sephora around the Christmas holidays. It's my perfect shade. It was better than, I think I had the shade 450, which I have a full jar of that. But always have to mix it with some of my yellow pigment or some of my blue pigment to calm down the redness of that one. But 440 is a much better shade. If you don't know about the House Labs foundation, this foundation is key. I feel like this is a foundation that you really need in your collection. It's skin-like, it's natural, it's buildable from light, medium to full coverage depending on whatever you prefer. And you only need a little bit. A little bit goes a long way, which I am considering nowadays when purchasing products is I don't want to have to put on a bunch of a product for it to be noticeable, for it to stand out, for it to cover. I want to use as less product as possible, and this foundation does that for me. So I'm just taking either a brush from Shein or Temu to blend it in, like lightly blend it in. And guys, I know lately like my foundation has appeared to be darker than my neck, but it's the winter months. I'm not tanned. My face is going to be darker because it's getting the most sun. Covered up from neck to feet because it's wintertime and it's cold. And as I was playing back the videos and like editing, I'm like, dog, why is my foundation? It seems like, I know it's a perfect match because I've used it before. Why does it seem like my neck is so bright? It's just not getting any color. I don't have a tan at all. So yeah, I wish I could get a tan, but nope, not yet. We got a couple of more months to wait and then I'll have a tan. So I took my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in 400 and 410, which is honey and caramel. I used the darker shade, which is basically my skin tone of honey first, and then I put caramel on top of it to give me that pop of highlight. I didn't want to do too much. I always never want to do too much. What am I saying? I didn't want to do too much, but I still wanted to do makeup, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, I'm always looking for products that are affordable, that work, that I can depend on, rely on. Going other days where I'm looking for the name brand makeup. Like if I stumble upon it and I purchase it and I love it, by all means, that's good. But it's not anything I have to have the name brand makeup. No, I do not. If the dollar store or the drugstore products work, then I'm all for it. It's me and the dollar store. Like, I'm all for it. Y'all, lately I have been using the dollar store face wash. It's the pore minimizing or something by Golden Beauty or Golden Beauty or whatever. Check out my dollar store haul, and I've been loving it. These are the AOA cream blushes, and I'm just showing y'all the name and the shade, and that's the shade I went with right there. To me, they were more like a highlight. I could see this being really beautiful in the summertime, like a beach day or just like a day in the sun. If you want to give off that glowy effect, I could see this being really beautiful. It kind of threw me for a loop because I'm not a highlighting girl. Like, I don't really enjoy to highlight, and this gives more like highlight consistency. So I'm like, oh my goodness. But I ended up putting a kind of matte blush on top to calm it down, and I was fine. One of my goals for 2025 is to do more blush, which I feel like I don't do enough of or did not do enough of in 2024. But now I'm doing a more blush because blush does enhance your look. I just feel like sometimes I don't have enough time to do it, or I'm scared that I will overdo it. And who wants to walk around looking like Homie the Clown? Not me, okay? So yeah, I'm going to be more intentional about applying blush in 2025. And oh, that's what I did. I didn't use a powder blush. I used the Rare Beauty in Virtue because I was like, that's a matte blush. And I knew I needed something matte to go on top of that glitter because it was like shining like a diamond. Shining like a diamond. Yes, it was. So anyway, so I'm like, okay, Nana, just make it work. Just keep blending. Don't be scared. Because at this point, I got to go to work. So I can't wipe it off. But I knew that once I took my SACHA Buttercup Loose Setting Spray, I'm not setting spray, setting powder, and set the concealer and everything, it was going to calm down that shine a little bit. So that gave me a little bit of comfort, right? So yeah, it's all about trying new things in 2025, not getting stuck in a rut, not saying I only do makeup this way, I can never do it that way without even trying the other way. So you'll in 2025 expect to see different ways I apply makeup, different looks other than my normal nude shade. And I'm so proud of myself because I've been doing more colorful lips versus just a brown lip liner and a nude lipstick in the center. I have been doing full blown lip colors, and it hasn't been bad. It hasn't been bad. Um, I'm slowly branching out there now. I didn't say I was coming in with some fuchsia lips or something like that. No, I'm slowly starting off slow, but so far, I think this week at work, I maybe used 3 or not 4 days. I did a colorful lip. So yeah. And then I took a little bit of my RCMA color to set the remainder of my face. Right now, I'm showing you the I Heart Revolution Mocha bronzer. My go-to, my go-to, my go-to. I'll dig in my stash, guys, and see if I can find something that's comparable to this so that I can let you guys know because they no longer sell this one. And I knew that I loved it before and it got lost in my stash, and I recently found it and I have not put it down. So this is one of the ColourPop eyeshadow quads, which I love. You see my face because I was not expecting that. Come on now. I knew ColourPop can be pigmented. I know this. This I know for sure. But I wasn't ready for the pigment that it gave. So I'm like, oh, Nana, you got to be light-handed. You cannot go overboard because the color is so dark. I didn't want to look like, oh, I ran into the wall and now I got a black eye. No, I wanted it to look like I put eyeshadow down. And I'm always going to, sometimes I might use 2 palettes, but for the most part, guys, I'm giving y'all 1 eyeshadow palette looks because that's just the way I function. Like, I would hate to have to bring out 4 different palettes to create an eyeshadow look. So those are the 2 shades I'm using. And that color this morning, I thought it was gold. And it does have gold, but it's kind of like a green undertone to it. which worked out perfect. It's a beautiful eye combination. So I'm just taking a angled shader brush. I love an angled brush to apply my eyeshadow. Love it. So I'm just taking that and kind of like just making sure to pat it on versus swipe because I didn't want any fall out. And usually I would have done a glitter look before I did my foundation and concealer and stuff, but this day I was just trying to get out the door. I was just trying to get out the door, and makeup is my therapy in the morning. So, I just really don't like to rush when doing my makeup. I really, I'll give myself a good 15 to 20 minutes time to spare if I mess something up. But for the most part, I just like to take my time and just vibe out and do my makeup. I didn't talk to y'all this morning because one of my microphones, the battery had died on it. So I was like, I could charge it a little bit, and that way I can do my outro, at least talk to y'all a little bit. I like to talk to y'all. I gotta do a live one day. I haven't got back in my lives yet. And next, this is an AOA liner. Now, love the liner. It's matte, it's dark, pigmented, but I don't like the applicator. The applicator was hard. Like, you see the tip of that, it does not bend. It doesn't bend. It's like a stick. And I'm like, I guess when you get so used to using a brush or maybe a marker, a felt marker that moves and stuff, this was just different. So I wonder if like I can use a different applicator or maybe get my own brush and get it. I can work with it, but I'm like, why is the applicator so hard? Why doesn't it bend or move or something? But meat and liner, another thing I'm gonna work on in 2025. I know people probably don't do cat wings anymore, but that's one thing that I've never mastered that I always said, even though my wings, y'all know me, y'all know I'm boring and simple. So my wings would never be uh too dramatic, but I still want to know how to do it because you just never know when I might do someone's makeup that needs it. So you just never know, right? So yeah, I'm just taking my time with this because I really couldn't work through that applicator. I'm like, this applicator is hard. Hard. If I don't be careful, I'm gonna poke myself in the eye with it. So just take your time, Nana, and let it do what it do. And that's just me looking in the mirror to make sure my lines are not necessarily twins, but making sure like they're even. And like I don't have hills and mountains on my eyes, like one liner going up, one liner going down, just trying to make sure it's even. That's all. But if you know how to work like that brush on this, like I would say it's good either way. I would pick it up either way, even if you have to use another applicator to apply it. Like this is good for $1. And then what I'm gonna do next? What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? So next, go back in with my bronzer brush because I'm obsessed with the bronzer. I think I need to be like 4 to 5 shades darker. I love a deep dark skin tone. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Then I took my Sephora lip liner and my lashes. And then I think next, yeah, I went in with my RCMA No Color Powder to lightly set the foundation. No, the foundation does not necessarily have to be set, but as a precaution. Since I was going to work, it was going to be a long day. I used a new primer. I'm like, oh, I'll go ahead and just set it a little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit never hurt nobody. And I always use a no color powder because I never want to add color on top of a foundation that's already giving me color, if you know what I mean. I don't need, I feel like that's way too much coverage for my liking. So, yeah. And then the next step is I think I went and got a lipstick out of my collection from MAC, one of their powdered kiss lipsticks. I'll show you in a minute. It's in the shade Posh, and it was a brown shade. Y'all know me and my clothes and my makeup. I always feel like I got to match. And why do I have to match? I don't know. A Locked Kiss Ink by MAC in the shade Posh. And it's a brown shade. I was like, okay, I can give them a little 90s type vibe, a little 90s type lip. And I wasn't I wasn't upset about it. I didn't put any light shade in the middle because, like I told y'all, I'm working on my new color for the year. Just more color, more color, more color. I'm going to pop on some lashes and then I'll come back in and talk to you guys. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm back and this is the completed look. I wanted to try the new AOA primer, vitamin E tea tree primer. I thought it was going to feel like a moisturizer, but once I applied, it kind of had that like gripping consistency that primers have. So I'm going to keep using this to see how it works. And the blush, I put it back in the bag. That blush, I think is best suited to be a, like, you have to put a matte blush on top of it. For me, I have to put a matte blush on top of it because it comes off like a highlighter. Now, if you like highlighters or like to highlight your face, then that would be perfect for you. But I had to kind of put a matte on top to tone it down just a little. And this is the completed look. Nothing new for the eye look. I was thinking, like, I wish ColourPop would come back out and do more quad palette versus big palettes because I have so many of them and I enjoy every one of them. So I wish they would come back and start doing like quad palettes again. Right, my nose. I had to go start the car to warm it up. It is so cold out there. I think it's like 30 something degrees. I'm over the cold already and it's only January. Like the cold needs to be done. But yeah, this is the completed, kind of just me planning whatever new stuff I have, but I can definitely see the highlight, and it's getting on my nerves because I don't like to be highlighted. So if you enjoyed today's video, give this video a thumbs up for me because it helps my channel out a lot, and I'm gonna catch you all later. Peace out. Bye, y'all.